So before I get into the topic, into what I would like to share with you guys today, I want to take a few minutes to sit together and arrive. So I invite you to find a comfortable position where you can feel that you can stay present. And take a deep breath and let it go. Close your eyes. And just we take a moment to arrive. And as I say that, I also hear the absurdity of a statement like this, a moment to arrive. We don't need to arrive because we are already here. We can't be anywhere else but exactly where we are in this moment. So we don't arrive. We simply consciously collect our attention and bring it in our body. So our body becomes the anchor. Please close your eyes. There is nothing to see except yourself. This being here is precious and rich, and we all contribute to this field that is our energies. In fact, it's just one energy. It's a cosmic life force energy that in its intelligence and beauty has found different vessels, different vehicles, different forms. But it's one energy, it's one consciousness. Where each one of us is a unique incarnation, a unique form. A physical form, a mental form, an emotional form, a spiritual presence. So allow your attention to really land in your body. The body is our roots in the present, in this moment. The body is here. The body is now. Mind has this incredible capacity to float around, move in so many different dimensions, and so does our consciousness, of course, and our heart, and many other resources that we have and that we are. But the body, because it's the most dense and solid part of our presence, it's right here. So when we practice presence, when we close our eyes, there is not much that needs to be done except just starting feeling this body. Buddha used to say, this body, the lotus paradise. Everything that happens in our consciousness exists in the physical form. Everything that happens in our consciousness exists in the mental form, in the emotional form. Just different densities, different dimensions, different facets of this oneness, of this uniqueness that you are right in this moment. So meditation is actually the easiest, simplest thing. It's about really just being exactly where we are, with everything that we are. Nothing is excluded. Nothing is rejected. Nothing is pushed away. If there is a thought is happening right in this moment. If there is an emotion, the emotion is manifesting right in this moment. If there are sensations, perceptions, images, moods, they are all happening right in this moment. So to meditate means simply choiceless awareness, being aware, being open, being receptive to what you are and what is right now, without choosing anything, without saying this yes, this no. And as we learn to do this through our practice, the world becomes so abundant, so rich, so full of surprises. And the inner conflict, that little worm that keeps separating, creating conflicts, choosing, deciding what is good, what is bad, what is beautiful, what is ugly, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, little by little starts dissolving. Because we don't need conflict. We don't need separation. We don't need to divide ourselves and the world. And as that starts happening, something very interesting arrives. You recognize without any doubt that you are the center of the universe. It's not an infantile, selfish, egoistic realization. Because at the same time, you realize that every single form is the center of the universe. Everything that exists right in this moment, a blade of grass, a gust of wind, a flying bird, you, each one is the center of the universe. God is a multi-center experience, is a manifestation of totality, uniqueness, beauty, goodness, and truth in every single form that consciousness is taking. There is no higher, there is no lower. So when you start meditating and close your eyes, stop efforting. Don't do anything. Don't try to go anywhere. There is no goal. There is just you sitting or standing or walking or talking or listening in the center of the universe. Infinite possibilities in infinite combinations. So feel this very simple physical dimension. Feel how you sit. Feel the density of your body. Feel the temperature of your body. Feel the sense of your clothes, of your skin. Hear the sounds. Notice how the air touches your face, your hands. The rising and falling of your chest and your belly. Very simple. Presence unfolding through constant transformation. And the Greeks had a beautiful word for this continuous manifestation of life force in its novelty. They call it eros. Eros is the spark of this new that every single instant we are, you are, everything is. And now, my friends, feel your legs and your arms. Allow your attention to move towards the extremities of your body, your feet, your hands. Let your eyes open and give yourself a little stretch. Yeah. All right. Ah. Ah. Thank you for being here. I feel honored and I feel blessed because I can share my love for the truth. It's a very passionate love. It's very passionate. It's a fire that is burning inside. Sometimes full on, sometimes very gentle. But in this period, since December, I need to say, has been full on. Rarely, I mean, I go to sleep, I sleep 2 hours, then I wake up and I'm full of energy and creativity, and I want to go and sit for a little bit, and then I write things and I have new ideas, and my guidance arrives and hammers me with new perspective, new things. So it's like, all right, I just do what am I supposed to do? I surrender. So in the last few months, I've been 3 months in Europe and now nearly 2 months back in Australia. And I have met a lot of people, not so many in the body, and some in Europe and some here in Australia, and a lot of people online. And one thing has been coming up, like some fundamental questions. So this period of COVID and lockdowns and isolations and lack of contact, have created on one side some very stressful, painful, at times very dark states and situations for many people. But at the same time, everything that has been happening is touching something very deep in many people, where the question is, what am I doing with my life? What's going on here? What sense it has to struggle and do a lot of effort and put a lot of energy into this, into that, and then COVID arrives and everything goes up in the air. Everything falls apart. People die. I might die. So these questions, what is my purpose? Am I here just to survive? Am I here just to get a better salary? Am I here to have a bigger TV, a bigger car, maybe, this or that? Is this really what my life is about? These are good questions, because they don't come from the personality. They don't come from our conditioning. They come from the longing of our soul. They come from a very deep place inside where we know that there is much more to life than just surviving. And yet, we also recognize, because we are intelligent enough, that 99% of the time in my life is dedicated to survival. Is that what I want? Is this the way I want to live? These are good questions. They come from a good place. They are true questions. So where is the trap? The trap is that the question comes from our soul, comes from our being, comes from our true nature, comes from our essence. But we try to find answers through our personality. So a lot of people, while they ask themselves this question, they also feel very frustrated, they feel disappointed, they feel lost, they feel they don't really know how to approach these questions. Because the fundamental trap is that even when we really are in touch with ourselves, then we look out to find answers. Then we reach out to find solutions. Then the question becomes a problem to be solved, not a true question. So the mind and our conditioning puts us in a fundamental trap and says, look, if you want to find solutions, you need to, okay, maybe you need to spend less money or to invest in Bitcoins or whatever, you know, or, you know, get a better job or a better house. And I don't have any problem with that. Let me be clear. Because the world of the form exists. So we need to deal and to know how to deal with survival. But this way of moving will never quench our thirst. It's not possible. Because fundamentally, we keep reinforcing a split inside of ourselves. We keep reinforcing a separation inside ourselves. Being on one side, personality on the other side. And you might know this in yourself. When you touch your being, you go like, oh, I hope that I don't go back into that personality. Oh, I feel so good here. Oh, I feel relaxed. Everything is so sweet and open. And I feel clear and I feel in touch with myself. And everything is smooth and flowing. So we look at our personality and we go like, I don't want to go there. And then when we are in the personality, we go, oh, God, being is so good. I want to go back to being. I want to go back to that place. But how am I going to do that? I need to survive. I need to make money. I need to pay the rent. I need to talk with my boyfriend, with my girlfriend. I need to buy a new pair of shoes or whatever. So we keep unconsciously dealing with ourselves as if we were actually different realities that are opposite to each other. And this is the fundamental trap. And as long as we believe that this trap is real, we are in trouble. Because inevitably there is an inner conflict. So as you take a breath, just connect with this. If it makes sense, what I'm saying, maybe it doesn't, but if it makes sense in some way, what I'm saying, if you can recognize this split in different ways in your day-to-day life, just allow yourself to feel it. You see, the first and fundamental step is to get out of denial. Is to say, yeah, I keep dividing myself. I keep splitting myself in many different ways. The good and the bad, the right and the wrong, the acceptable and the non-acceptable, the beautiful and the ugly, the intelligent and the stupid, the courageous and the coward, the greedy and the grateful. And is it possible just for a moment, not to judge it? Is it possible just for a moment to just feel it, look at it, perhaps with a little smile in your face or in your heart, and see the incredible joke? Perhaps with a little bit of sense of humor. This is what conditioning is. This is what we have been taught. And that's okay. Conditioning is not bad. Sorry if I break some old spiritual new age ideas. Conditioning is not bad. Conditioning is a simple structure of survival, rules of functioning that has been given to us by our parents because they were worried and they, in their own ways, they loved us. And they took the responsibility to put certain information in our system. Say, look, you need to do and be and that, blah, 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 and the whole thing. It's like having a bag of tools. You know, this is my screwdriver, this is the hammer, these are the nails, you know. Conditioning is not bad, it's a survival mechanism. And the fact that you are sitting here and present and listening and even capable of questioning this conditioning is the proof that your conditioning is working properly. Otherwise, you would not be here. In fact, it's the proof that your conditioning is a pretty smooth operating machine. You even have the luxury to ask yourself, who am I? What am I doing here? What is my life about? So you are even in a place where you can even question your conditioning, which is a great thing. Because every bag of tools is limited. Every bag of tools is defined by who put those tools there and how they got more or less refined in our years of survival. But still, it's extremely limited. And the problem is that when we get used to a specific set of tools, we don't even conceive the possibility that there are many, many, many more tools available that we have already, but we don't use consciously because maybe we don't even know that we have them, or maybe we didn't take the time to practice with those tools. And those tools are the tools of our true nature, of our being. They are the resources, the potentiality that we are born with. Now, in this dimensions of being of this year, we will be recognizing and owning and embodying some of these tools. And one is my favorite because it's my home. Is where I spent most of my life, and it's called the Black Essence, or the essence of peace, silence, and personal power. which is the capacity to own and embody the power to be who you are, the power to manifest who you are, the power to share who you are. And the power to let go of who you are and completely dissolve into the mystery and come back. Yes, and come back and move consciously between different dimensions of reality. The horizontal dimension of time and space, where we exist in the body, in the incarnation, in the form, in the limitation, and the vertical dimension of this eternal now. And as much as possible, to live exactly at the crossing point, where we are all of it: personality, being, beauty and ugliness, intelligence and stupidity, fear and courage, all of it. So the black essence, and it is called the black because actually it manifests as a luminous black, which is something that you probably have experienced in some moments of your meditation or in moments of love. This complete disappearance of form and objects, and that dissolution in something extremely mysterious, but full of life, full of light, and yet black. This is called also the mother universe in many mystical traditions, the womb of the universe. It's a place where there is no ego, because there is no identification, there is no movement, there is no becoming, there is just being. In this place, in this quality of being, in this dimension of our true nature, we encounter some fundamental issues in the personality. If you're not familiar with this work has something very unique and special in its understanding and in the teaching. And it is that continuously shows the interdependence between how we exist in being, so in the unlimited dimension, and how that unlimited dimension then manifests in the form, in the personality, through limitations, what we used to call problems or issues. Now, the main issue of the black essence is death. And all our ideas, all our beliefs, all our associations with death. So when we work with the black essence, at some point we start inquiring, what do I really know about death? What is death? What am I talking about? What is my direct experience of it? Do I have any? or I just have ideas, beliefs, concepts, points of view. Does death exist? Is that a reality? Does life exist as separate from death? Or is something that I just have heard and learned and I keep believing to be true, to be real? Now, of course, fear of death is at the core of our fear for survival. So when we deal with survival, if we really look into it deeply, we need to encounter death. But how do we do that if we don't have power? And here we go. The black essence is about personal power. It's about how can I embody power in a personal, unique way. Power doesn't belong to anybody. Power is a quality of being. But then, how can I be a manifestation of this power? And then another fundamental issue comes out of this. Well, then perhaps if I can recognize what is the purpose of my life, it's going to be easier to recognize my power. Because purpose and power, they go very close together. And then another fundamental part comes up, which we will look in very specific detail. How do I close myself, cage myself inside a powerless structure, which is personality? Personality has no power, only fake power, not true power. Personality is effort, is striving, is not power. Power doesn't strive, doesn't effort, flows naturally. So how do I close myself in that structure? So what we're going to look at when we work with the black essence, we're going to look at our defense system in very specific details. We're going to look at layer after layer of the defense system in a simplified form. So we're not going to go through all the possible defenses. We're going to go through like 4 or 5, which are really the basic ones. And when we can understand experientially, because we can recognize how we activate with these defenses, where we can be aware of our inner defensive technology. It's amazing because you can see how the mechanism functions mechanically, robotically. And at the same time, you can recognize the defenses are not, again, they're not good or bad, they're just defenses. The question is, can I be aware of it? Can I embrace them? Can I use them consciously? Or I am enslaved. I am used by my own structure. Who is the master here? And that's another fundamental part of the black essence, owning mastery. Owning your own authority. Owning the fact that you, as the center of the universe, are the only one that is in charge, that can be in charge, and that has all the resources that are needed to do the best. So this is the first module, the black essence. And when we do this work, if you're not familiar with the way we work, we work through meditations, we work through self-inquiry, we work through teaching, but also we don't do just the modules, we keep going on together for a couple of months until the fall, or 3 months, or whatever it is, until the following module. So then we don't just give a little bite and then say, okay, that's it, I got it, because it's not true. We want to understand, we want to realize, but even more, we want to integrate, which is something that very rarely we give ourselves the time to do. Often seekers go looking for the truth as if they go shopping for shoes or cars. Where is the next one? Where is the next one? And they don't give themselves time to integrate, to digest. We take that time, we support that time, we have tools to navigate through integration. Because when we integrate, then another miraculous thing happens. We act from the truth. We act from that integration. We actualize our understanding. It's not just an understanding, it's an embodied understanding. It shows through the way you live, it shows the way you love, it shows the way you work. So realization, number one, integration, number two, actualization, number three. We want to have all of it. Here, here, and in the belly, because it's the belly the one that acts. And it's the heart that one that integrates. And it's our inner intelligence, the one that sees, realizes the truth, the living truth. So when this happens, and we start having power, and we start feeling the space of the mystery, and we start realizing the abundance and the richness of this mystery, then finally, we can stop working on ourselves. We can stop chasing enlightenment. We can stop chasing paradise tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We can start enjoying, playing, celebrating. And that's the yellow essence. I put some yellow and black today so that I have both on me. That's the yellow essence. The yellow essence is the essence of joy, of contentment, of devotion to what? To yourself, to everything. The capacity to navigate in life with a light step, with a sense of humor. What Osho kept hammering, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate your anger, celebrate your fear, celebrate your jealousy, celebrate your beauty, celebrate your numbness, celebrate your stupidity, celebrate. But you need power to do that. So we get the power and then we allow ourselves to celebrate. Why we need power? To be able to experience joy. Because even if we might have forgotten, we all made a promise when we were children. We made a promise to our family. We made a promise to our parents. And the promise is, I will be loyal to your suffering. I'll be loyal to your sacrifice. So loyalty to the suffering of the beloved ones is what does not allow us to experience life as joy. Just a little bit here and there, but not too much. Otherwise, poor mom, she sacrificed herself for me. Poor dad, working his ass off to bring the money at home so that I could go to school and university. Poor God that is up there having to deal with this sinner every day. Poor husband or wife. Loyalty to the suffering of the beloved ones. Which loyalty does not allow us to fully love them. Because this loyalty has some dark shadows, resentment, rage, distance, rejection. So joy, which is the lightest and most delightful quality of essence, it's drowned by this promise, by this loyalty. So we're going to have to deal with that. We're going to have to see how unconsciously, subconsciously, we have this habit of castrating our joy. Not too much, or keeping it small, because I need to be small so that my parents, I can see my parents as parents. They're not your parents. They're not your father and your mother. They are a man and a woman. They are much more than your father and your mother. They are who they are. They are human beings. They are incarnations of the divine. They are consciousness in action. Forget about mom and dad. Stop putting on them those labels. Break that promise consciously. So we're going to go into that. We're going to do it together if you are willing. So that our luminosity, joy is luminous. We can stop looking at our negative self-image. We can stop keeping and going back to the usual wound, to the usual trauma, to the usual small me, and start consciously shifting our attention from the identification with the negativity to look at, what am I doing here? Why the universe wants exactly you in this moment on this planet? Why not somebody else? Of course, there are millions of somebody else, but you are here. Is this a benediction or is it a nightmare? And this is up to us, this conscious shift. And we need the power to do it. In a beautiful discourse, when Osho was talking about this point, I heard him saying that there comes a moment in your search where you reach a point, a place where you will find a pole in the middle of the road. And on this pole, there is a piece of wood attached on it with a good nail. And on that piece of wood is written, "Here the world ends." The world of stories, of suffering, of objects, of events, of good and bad. And then he says, don't stop there. Look what is written on the other side of that piece of wood. And on the other side is written, and here God begins. And this is our destiny, if we are willing. We are not here to suffer. We are here to recognize, oh, here God begins. And in that moment, we go beyond survival. We start living. And when we live, I can guarantee you, survival is much easier. Much easier. Because you don't interfere. You're just living. And as you start living, you become a sponge of opportunities, of possibilities. Everything starts coming to you. Seeking stops, searching stops. You start finding, not searching. You keep finding over and over and over again. And then joy is right there. We don't need to do anything about it. So this is going to be the second part, the second module. And then comes another amazing piece. One of the most delicious tools in our bag, which is called the Diamond Guidance. Diamond Guidance is here right now. Diamond Guidance is in each one of us. Diamond Guidance is talking, is hearing, is listening, is resonating, is knowing, beyond any projection, beyond any judgment, beyond any prejudice, pure, direct knowing of what is as it is. The world is transfigured because all the veils, the filters, they become transparent. They don't disappear. We need them sometimes. I want to hide from my boss. Okay, let me put a veil, possibly a good one. Okay, or I want to put a mask on. Nothing wrong with that. But they tend to be opaque. Guidance gives us the capacity to see through our defenses, to see through self-deception, to see through the personality, to see through our structures. They stay there because we might need them to see through our inner judge. We don't throw away anything. You know, in Naples, they have this beautiful expression, which I will say now in Italian and then I translate in English. O spirito come porc, non se ietta niente. Che vuol dire? That means spirit is like a pig. You don't throw away anything. And that's exactly it. Spirit is all of it. It doesn't say, oh, but the personality, no. Oh, no, but jealousy, no. Spirit is also including jealousy. Is also including, my greed. It just looks through and see what is behind. What is the potential What is the capacity? What are the resources? So guidance has that incredible quality of showing us what is in its suchness, in its facticity, without attaching anything, no value, no morality, no codes, no judgments, no prejudice. It's just, this is what is. And then it leaves us completely free to act and to be exactly the way we want or we need to. And that's the beauty of guidance, which makes it completely different experience than our inner judge. Because our inner judge is pestering us. You should be like that. You should not be like that. This is right. This is wrong. So there is aggression, manipulation, and all the crap that you know. Guidance doesn't do that. Guidance is clean, gentle, powerful, simple, direct. And you know it, because I am absolutely sure that in some moments in your life, you had those moments of sharp, immediate clarity, where there was no doubt, where there was no wobbling, maybe just few, maybe many. Maybe you listened, maybe you didn't, I don't know. Usually intuition, dreams, visions, revelations, they come in many different ways. Sometimes they come as a, there's something in the skin that goes, oh, something is happening. And you don't even know what is happening, but you can feel that life in that moment is filling you with something. It's calling you somewhere. It's telling you, look, feel that, see that, recognize that. You don't need to do anything. Just open your eyes, open your senses, open your heart, open your capacity to hear, to listen. Guidance is what actually has revealed everything that I'm telling you. Nobody invented these things. Just guidance kept coming to different people, and putting things, and saying, look at this, look at that, feel this, feel that. Because guidance is how consciousness shows what is as it is. So this is going to be the third module. And again, a fundamental part of this work, this webinar, is the ongoing inquiry. So between one module and another module, my valiant team, Siddhartha and Ketan and Vister, they provide support 2 or 3 times, depending on the time that there is between one module and the other, to hold the space for inquiry. And then we meet all together a couple of times. We do another meeting where we address, I keep refining the work and I keep addressing issues that come up, and we have question and answers. And also, we keep sending you materials where we open up a particular aspect of the teaching and where we provide you with inquiries. And this works, and works really well, because inquiry, self-inquiry, becomes basically your operating way. You basically start asking questions, being curious. Oh, that's the yellow. Joy is extremely curious. Joy is constantly innocent, like a child. They say, oh, what is this? What is that? How does this work? How come it happens now? Because that's what Eros is. That's what the spark of the novelty is. It's like, oh, what is this? What is that? And it has to do with each one of us and every aspect of reality. So we use self-inquiry a lot until it becomes our nature. It's already our nature. We just simply activate this capacity. So let me think, feel if there is anything else. I have some notes here. No, I think basically I said whatever I wanted to say. How are we doing here with time? Oh, it's already an hour gone. Okay, guys. So thank you for being here. The next appointment is if you decide to join, but also if you don't, the next appointment is on the 20th of February. And again, this is already part of the webinar, but it's also free. And in that specific appointment, I'm going to deal with something that has to do with how we do the work, the methodology. What are the pillars of this work? What are the things that we really want to keep focusing and present as we enter into the essence of power? What do I need to, what are the tools that I need and I have? So we're going to work with the understanding of what are the holes. We're going to work with the understanding of how to deal with the superego. We're going to work with the understanding of what is essence and how it manifests. So different, what is self-inquiry and how we do it. So different perspective, because inquiry can be done in many different ways. So we talk more about the basic methodology of our job, our work, our way of dealing with personality, with essence, and with the absolute dimension. So that's going to be 20th of February. And then on the 12th of March, we get into the first module, which is the black. Peace, power, and silence. So thanks a lot for being here. And I wish you a very good weekend. And take care of yourself. Stay safe. Remember that this is your life and you have a responsibility about this incarnation. And the responsibility is to give your best in all possible ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to really take care of this incredible, gorgeous being. So thanks again, and I see you in February. Bye-bye.